Hey guys, it's Lucas, owner Provision Roofing. So where we started this from and why we started this is to help everybody at whatever position they're in, whether that's a position in business, whether that's a position in sales, and it doesn't have to be roofing sales or door-to-door or anything like that, but to help everybody, man. It could be in motivation. It could be in your personal life and your mindset. It could be in the business hardships and things that you're going through that we've gone through ourselves. Or it could even be in sales. I've been in sales in these industries, or in the sales and marketing industry for, gosh, I can't even do math that far back. I know it may seem unrealistic. I'm a younger guy, but I've been in this since I got out of the military back in 2017. So almost 10 years now, I've been in some sort of sales, marketing, or leadership role. And I've been through a lot, and I've had some incredible mentors in my life. And that's what we're trying to be here for you, is we're trying to be a mentor in your life that may not be the guy right by your side in that sales meeting room, or may not be the guy that you go up to every single day at the desk or in his office, but a guy that you can rely on that's going to teach you all the ways through all the issues that you're dealing with and giving you the guidance of the experiences that we've had to make you great. And at this time, you're probably wondering why you should listen to me at all in the first place. Well, let me give you the backstory on that. I got out of the military and I got into marketing. When I got into marketing, it was outside marketing. I was that guy in the mall or that guy on the street that would catch you and get you to sit in front of a presentation. Never done it before in my life straight out of the military. Obviously, man, I was 21 years young, and I became marketer of the week my first week, marketer of the month my first month, marketer of the month my second month, and I excelled at it. But I had great mentors. I'm going to keep on leaning back on that because mentorship is everything, and that's what we want to be for you. Now, I got out of that because I couldn't believe in what I was doing, what I was marketing for, and I got into car sales because I love cars, all right? I had to figure out the next way to move forward, and my next way to move forward in my next part of my career, it was getting into car sales. I thought that I could help people. I thought that I could educate them. I thought that I could help their circumstances. But I got into it yet again. I was salesman of the month my first month. I sold 26 cars in my first month. Now, when I was in that industry 5-6 months down the line, I got the opportunity to be a training manager. I am proud to say that I've trained 10s of 20s of 30s successful people in the car industry. And that's not a lot. That's nothing to brag on, but I can tell you every single one of them has their own success story. One of the first guys that I ever trained, actually the first guy that I ever trained, he reached out to me just about 3 months ago when he got promoted to be an F&I manager, finance manager in that industry at the dealership that he started at and I trained him at, and he is 25 years old. He's an F&I manager for one of the biggest car dealerships on the Panhandle, right? There's something to be said about that. I take a lot of pride in that, but let's just know this, if he didn't have other mentors in his circle, he didn't have me training him to begin with, right? Would he ever be there? And I want to give you guys me to lean on. So I want to move on from that and talk about what we're here doing today. After I got out of car sales, and the reason I got out of car sales, man, is because we got hit by a hurricane. Me and my wife lost our jobs. We moved to Tennessee. We were on the verge of homelessness. We were almost not gonna have a place to live, and a church reached out. That's a way bigger part of the story that you guys are gonna learn through following us. But we ended up getting back on our feet, man. And right after we got back on our feet, I ruptured a disc in my lower back, almost severed my sciatic nerve. I only have 80% use of my right leg from the waist down. And for some reason, God guided me to roofing. For some reason, a prayer led me to this industry. And I now know why, which you'll hear more about in the story as we go on. But I want to let you guys know, I started roofing 6 weeks out of back surgery. I started knocking doors, I started climbing on roofs, and I wasn't cleared by a doctor yet. But in my first year, I sold $2.89 million. And I say that's in my first year. I did it in 9 months before I got promoted to management in this industry. And what I mean by I'm ready to do more for others and give back more to others is I've already done it. I'm just looking to do it on a bigger scale, and that's why you're here today. Through these industries and car sales, when I had the opportunity at training others, man, I helped them grow, I helped them succeed. And I've seen multiple of those guys that still reach out to me to this day, like I said before, that are succeeding, that are growing, that are building, that are changing their lives in the industry of sales and marketing. That's what I love about this business, is it's not just sales, it's also marketing. Actually, what we do here at this company and in this industry, only 25% of this entire job is sales. Our job is customer service. Our job is helping people. Our job is marketing first and foremost. That's how we get our leads. That's how we build our revenue. So who better to learn from than a guy who's trained people in sales, he's trained people in marketing, and I've also trained people in this business right here long before I even started my own. Before I started my own, I've trained over 40, 50 plus sales representatives. Of those guys that I've trained and they've succeeded, whether it's in this industry or others, they have all made multiple six figures in a year, and some in excess of $500,000 in a year. Guys, I don't care if you're in sales, I don't care if you're in marketing, I don't care if you've never been in it before. I have guys on my team right now that have already changed their lives just 4 months in. Guys that have made more money than their parents have ever made in their entire life. Guys that have made more money in 1 month than they've made in previous years. And these are guys that have never been in sales before. Shoot, my sales manager, his first year in, sold just shy of $2 million. He's never had a role in sales before, but he took the risk. It's just whether or not you're willing to take the risk. So if you're ready to take the risk, you know where to go. You're in Nashville and maybe you're willing to take the next step. Maybe you're making $100,000 a year and you're like, how do I make a quarter? How do I make a half? And you're looking for the right people to guide you there. The guys who have done it before, not an owner that just started a business and said, hey, I'm gonna do this sales organization and we're gonna do roofing and we're just gonna kind of figure it out. But instead learning from the guys that have been in the roots of it, the guys that have been through the struggles at the bottom, in the middle, and everywhere in between. The guys who have started from absolutely nothing and dug themselves out of a hole. The guys who have came here and said, hey, I'm already making $100,000 a year, but I know you can teach me how to do more. If you see yourself as that individual, if you're ready to take the next step in your sales career, if you're ready to take the next step in your just career in general, and you're wanting to learn something different, and one of the most integral and important parts of this world in success and learn sales, again, link below, guys. We're waiting for you, but you got to be willing to take the risk. If you're in the Nashville, Tennessee area right now, you don't mind making a trip over to Hendersonville. It's 114 Powell Drive, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075. Come see where we're working, man. Come see what you could be a part of. Come see what you could sit in on. Guys are probably going to look at and say, well, there's nobody in here, and my wife and kids are in here, but I ain't got no sales rep sitting inside this building. My operation manager's, he's standing outside over here actually right now, just taking his lunch break. But come in, man, we're a family operation. This is what it's all about. This is what you could be a part of. So in here, man, this is the first little entry. My wife, my wonderful wife, is the receptionist. She answers the calls, takes the calls from customers. Well, this is a sales meeting room. We get together every Monday. We go over the problems we're having. We pitch each other. We have a little fun. We got TVs to learn off of, TVs to watch videos, bring people in. But most of all, we have this massive table with spots to fill to build this community. Now, there was a moment in this building, it wasn't in this room, we actually had to put these tables, we had to get another table, extend it, make it bigger because our team was growing so fast. But that team grew fast because of our compensation plan. And I still remember the first day I was able to write my first big old check, see the reaction from that guy. Man, he looked like he already changed his life. He ain't been in it but a couple months at that point when he got that first big fat check. But he's still with me today and still grinding. He's still growing, and I'll tell you what, we're still investing. Whether we invest in them or they're investing in themselves, all these guys are here to win, and we're here to win together. My favorite part about every single week is the day that I get to run commission, the day that I get to take out my checkbook and change another life. Again, it's where you could be with all of us. And you're gonna see none of us here because all of us have the same goal in mind. And that's what we put in is what we're gonna get out. That's what this is all about. That's what sales is about. That's what marketing is about. That's what this business is about. Our compensation plan doesn't have a top that you're gonna cap out at. You cap out where you cap out. You go until you can't go anymore. You build until you're great, but we're all gonna be great together. And then once you're great, we're gonna give you the opportunity at greatness with us. Now, we've talked about a compensation plan, we've talked about changing lives, but what does that mean to us? What does changing lives mean? It means you're not only gonna build with us and grow with us and stay in this room forever. You're not just gonna be a sales rep. We don't create sales representatives, we create leaders. And once we get a leader, once we teach you how to build a team, how to manage these operations, how to do production, know your stuff, know your materials, know your installation procedures. We're gonna give you that business mindset, and then we're gonna give you a piece of it. We're building this out not to build leaders in an organization in one room, but make sure we build leaders in organizations that get to have their own room with us all the way into the future until we're done. Now, our goal from the start, our vision is 10 branches, 10 years, 9-figure exit. And everybody that starts with us, builds with us, becomes a leader, not just here. They're going to have an opportunity to lead in their own building, lead their own organization. You want a piece of that? Again, we're waiting on you. Take the next step, take the risk. That's what every individual did here. And that's why you don't see any one of them here, is because they're all out risking it today. They're all out, not just risking it, they're all out winning today. So I guess at this point, come on back. We don't have a lot of pictures on the walls, but we got this sticker that never went on a truck. Oh, well, really quick, just to know that we're waiting on you. We got boxes and boxes of clothes ready to outfit you. Now, open door policy, you can see there's not a single door closed in this office. You can come in here, meet with me, come in here and meet with the operations guy. He works directly with me every single day. Now, we're working on a lot of stuff up on this board. Everybody's got their goals up here. We hold people accountable to them. We're all winning. But as the difference between us and other businesses, the difference between me and other owners, so I'm here for you at any time. My wife, my kids, sales guys can tell you, you can ask anybody in my business. No matter what time you call me, my eyes are open. You need me personally. You need me in the business. You need me for guidance in sales, guidance on a claim, help with a customer. If my eyes are open, I'm answering the phone, man. Because it doesn't stop when the clock hits 4. It stops when you do. Just the same way as we talked about in previous videos, businesses fail when you quit. Businesses succeed when you don't give up. I love you, baby. Oh, that's 100% what it's about. Bye. Hey, you guys be good for mama. When did I open this place? Shoot, that was 2024. July 17th was the first day the doors opened. That brings me to the next point. We ain't got no competition. And I don't say that egotistically. Hear me out. Our competition, our only competition in everything we do, whether it's business or if it's sales versus sales, our competition is ourselves. It starts here, right? I don't see those guys as competition. I don't see anybody as competition. Sure, they may be competing with me, but I'm competing with myself. It's about better every day, better every month, better every quarter, better every year. Because I'm not fighting over whether or not him or I are going to get the job. It's about how much did we train, how much did we educate, what does our presentation look like, who did the better job. It's not competition. It's not me versus him. It's me versus me. And it's you versus you too. I love you.
See ya.
Oh, love you too.
Love you. Shout out wifey for running the business.
Yeah, for sure. It's saving grace. Seriously. Oh, hey, Tim. Made it to the tailgate, did you?
Yes, I did.
Look at this guy. It's never too late to change your life, even if you only got 10 years left.
I'm hoping for 11.
11? Tim's the newest addition, man. He stepped in to run operations for the team. I'm really excited to have him here.
I'm telling you, man, all you have to be is willing to hear. You ain't got to be brilliant. You don't have to be. You can be. There's nothing innately wrong with being brilliant. But man, when you're walking with God, He shows you things you couldn't have possibly imagined. I wasn't really looking for a job. I was a client.
Yeah.
I was sitting.
You're still a client.
Yeah, I'm still a client. The job found me on my back porch. He came over and to do his job. We ended up sitting on the porch for 3 hours. But he was getting in his truck. I just walked him down to his truck. He was getting in it and sitting sideways on the seat. He said, "What are you doing?" I forget exactly how you put it.
I said, so what are you doing right now?
And I said nothing. And I said, I've looked for work, but nobody wants to, on a resume, nobody wants to hire somebody that's going to be 71 in May.
I think you said nobody wants to hire somebody my age or something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines.
But I think you also said that you didn't need to do anything or anything like that. You just looking to something to keep yourself sharp.
Well, I want to be a part of something that means something. I spent my whole life just making a living. I wanted to be inspired. I didn't want to just have a job. I could have gone and worked at Buc-ee's if that's all I wanted. But listening to him and there's another guy that actually was the initial, Dalton Gray was the initial contact. He and I spent a number of hours on my back porch talking. My back porch has become much like a church in a lot of respects because there's a lot of kingdom conversation that goes on, and basically it's just enabling guys to find out who they are. We talk about it a lot around here, that what's inside of you is specific to you, and your journey is going to be different than everybody else's, and it's helping guys to acknowledge that, recognize it, embrace it, and actually celebrate it, the good and the tough.
And doing it together.
Yeah,
right.
That's important because
the big thing we talked about yesterday was endurance and community, and how having endurance becomes easier when you endure together.
I think the example was when Moses was holding the staff up, parting the Red Sea, and his arms got tired. And two guys came and held his arms up because he couldn't do it himself. So, yeah, even the great ones need help.
I just don't know anything other than 100%. I've never known anything else. I think the military might have instilled that in me and I forgot about it or something. It's brainwashing. I think there's a little bit of brainwashing, yeah. I've trained a lot of people, man, and what I've learned over that time is that I haven't met another individual like me that's literally on 10 all the time. I like to watch like psychology videos, and I'm constantly researching. Any of my guys can tell you that. They just, because I got so much information up here. As long as I've known myself, I've never not been able to do things at like 100% capacity all the time. And I think that like I've watched a few videos that say, you know, people only use like 20% of their brain or something like that. And I'm like, man, wouldn't it be crazy if you actually used 100%? If you just did more, if you just did all of it all the time? You know, ask yourself the question, like, did you actually give 100% today? Did you do everything that you could do? And I never want to go home and say that I didn't. So I think like a big problem that I have, and I can admit to having problems, I got a lot of them, we all do. The big problem that I have is I'm always 100 mile an hour. I'm always 100%. I figure out how to do something and I figure out how to excel at it, do it most efficient and productive way. And if I'm not doing it, I figure out another way to do it that's even faster and better. And I've figured that out training Tim. I've got to know this stuff so well, and it just comes to me naturally. It always has. My parents would say the same thing about me. I don't know what 100% isn't. Shoot, my wife got to tell me to stop working. My wife gets mad at me sometimes because I just don't know how to shut it off. Get home at 6:30 at night, I leave at 6:30 in the morning. I get home at 6:30 at night and she's like, why don't you spend some time with your kids? I'm like, I forgot about that. I was thinking about this. She's like, yeah, I know, but shut that off for a second. Get over here. Yeah, sorry. I just love education. I think it's something a lot of us forget, is to love education, to constantly work on becoming better, more knowledgeable every day. And that's what business is all about, especially in this industry. The insurance industry and roofing, or the roofing industry in general, any industry in sales, it's constantly changing. We got to change with it. If we're not becoming better every day, we're going to get left behind. Big reason we started doing this. Social media is the new marketing. You got to forget about the television commercials that cost $25,000 and start working on social media. There's more visibility on that than there's ever going to be on TV unless it's a Super Bowl commercial. These guys across the street don't do social media. You know what my dream is, bro? To have so much, to just be able to give without thinking. Like, I literally think about that all the time, man. I got sales guys that reach out when they first start, and they come to me for advances, and sometimes I can give them the advances and it makes sense, and other times it doesn't make sense. But I wish for one day, I dream for one day that I have enough that it's not just about giving a salesperson an advance, it's about showing up at the right time in somebody's life and just having an abundance, you know, kind of like the social media guys that get to go out there and they just like knock on people's door and say, man, I just wanted to pay your rent today. Just coming across somebody in need and saying, oh, you're homeless, you need a house? Talk to them a little bit, blah, 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 and just be able to build them a house. Like, if I could have an abundance enough to take care of my family but give everything away at the same time, man, that would be, I don't know how I could be happier at that point. My dream is this big, what I'm living is this big, but hey, that just means we're part of the way there. There's something about being able to give financially, because people say there's freedom in America. Well, I tell you what, you can sure be free in America. I mean, you can go live on the street, you can go live in the country, but you can't live on any land, right? There's freedom in America with the means to have it. You never met a billionaire that couldn't do whatever the hell he wanted to do. You sure meet a lot of people that aren't as financially sound, that can't do all those things. Man, my dream is just to be able to be free and give other people the opportunity to be free too. To be able to experience life the way we were meant to. Man, I've been on that mission since I was born. I didn't know the plan for me, but I didn't have to know the plan. God had the plan for me the whole time. He put something in my heart. He put something in all of our hearts. We just don't know what it is, but one day, someday, He'll put it on you and it'll flood you. You know what my favorite scripture is, man? I just found this in my walk with God, and I've been doing a lot of teaching of like what's helped me in my life, because my life revolves around my family and business and helping those in my business succeed. And I think one of my main reasons for success is giving it all to God and letting Him just take control. And so it's funny because like we talk about this constantly, those 5 closest people in your life, or the people that you're going to be like, right? You sit at a table with, 4 millionaires, you're going to become the 5th. Has anybody ever told you that's scripture? And you're like looking at me like, what scripture? And I ain't got the memory. We talked about that, but it's Proverbs 13:20. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. That's exactly what it says, man. You hang out with 5 drug addicts, you're gonna become the 6th. You know, with 5 millionaires, you're gonna become the 6th. God literally told us. Nobody ever told us. Our parents always told us the little saying, who you hang around is who you're going to become. Nobody told us that saying was God in the Bible. Second favorite scripture, lean not on your own understanding. It's not yours to understand. He has a plan for you. I think the true meaning of obedience, man, is just exactly what we always talk about as Christians, right? Give it all to Him. It doesn't mean, hey, ask Him what you should do every day and whatever He tells you, you just do that. It's obedience in the fact where you say, give up all your stresses, your fears, your anxieties, and just flow like water, man. Now, I think water is an incredible thing. I think water, I think when it comes to this earth and what God's created, the most godly thing that He ever gave us was water. And He wants us to be like water because He wants us not to fear what's in front of us or beside us or what happens to us, but know that we are whole no matter what occurs. Know that we hit a rock, right? The one thing that I know about water is it'll work its way through anything if it's consistent and it keeps moving. But think about that, right? We say it in the military too. It's be like water. Why do we say be like water? Water's the most powerful thing on this earth. I don't care what anybody says. You can say fire, but what puts out fire? Water. What puts out water? Nothing. I've never seen wind break through a mountain, but I've seen water erode it. So you're probably wondering, what step do I take next? How do I even get into this? Their answer is there's going to be a link for you below. You want to step into sales? You want to learn what sales is all about, what marketing is all about? Guys, I'll tell you one thing about the roofing industry is we're not a roofing company. We're a sales organization that just so happens to do roofing. You can learn sales here, and if you can do this, you can do anything, right? You can go car sales, you can go to finance and wealth management. You can go to outside or door-to-door, business-to-business marketing. You can do whatever you want. You could even run your own business in the future. And our goal here is to get you running businesses for us in the future. Hopefully you stick with us, grow with us, win with us. But we want to build something great. We want you guys to build something great. We want you guys all to see the life change that started with my life change.